Welcome to Texas A&M AgriLife Extension. My name is Joanne and I'm the Family and Community Health County City Agent for Texas A&M AgriLife Extension, Hidalgo County. Welcome to Week 4, Step Up, Scale Down, and Walk Across Texas. Give yourself a huge applause because you have made it to Week 4. Before we get started, I wanted to hear some positive testimonies on this program. Have you seen any improvement? Maybe a change of mood? Maybe you might have more energy. Maybe you've also seen some weight loss. Keep it going, you're doing a great job. In this session, please download handout 4.1. It has a weekly menu planner and as well as a breakfast recipe. You can find this on the Step Up, Scale Down Member Only website. In this session, we're going to be talking about planning a week's worth of meals to include breakfast, lunch, and dinner. We're also going to be talking about the benefits of breakfast and just how we discussed last week about reading a nutrition label and making healthy choices based on the information given. Hungry plus no plan equals stress. What do we tend to eat when we are hungry and we don't know what to cook? Probably junk, probably fast food. It's just easier that way. For many of us, a major source of stress happens around mealtime, when our families are hungry but we don't have anything planned for them to eat. Having healthy, easy-to-fix, budget-friendly meals plans can help reduce the source of stress and save money and calories. A healthy diet includes different types of food in amounts that gives us the nutrients that our body needs, but without too many calories that can cause us to gain weight. In addition, a healthy diet is balanced with regular physical activity that can promote good health and is another great way of reducing stress. So planning is very important because when we don't plan, we make unhealthy choices. Failing to plan is planning to fail, as stated from Allen. How can we make planning easier for you? As of today, who makes a menu for the week? How easy is it for you to plan meals for you and your entire family? How often during the week do you plan meals in advance? What is the hardest thing about planning healthy meals? Some of these questions you may want to think about and come up with a solution. So something that we can recommend is ask your kids, what they would like to have and make a weekly menu and then just go shopping for those items. And you can put it on the post-it boards. You can get the kids involved and make a weekly menu. Breakfast breaks the overnight fasting period. So we haven't been eating for over 8 to 10 hours, right? We sleep and we wake up and we should be hungry. And remember what we talked about, the metabolism. You constantly want it to keep on going. Replenishing your supply of glucose to boost your energy levels and alertness. You definitely don't want to be sluggish going to work or even going to school. Provides essential nutrients required for good health. Increase your intakes of vitamins, minerals, and fiber. So this is just a great way, another meal to include your nutrients, your vitamins, such as maybe getting an orange or maybe getting your greens in with fiber, whole wheat, and maybe a toast with avocado. That would be delicious. According to the National Weight Control Information Network, people who eat breakfast are less likely to overeat later in the day. Do you find yourself skipping breakfast and then having a huge plate for lunch? We constantly want our metabolism to continue to work. Therefore, having all your meals and your snacks will help you reduce the risk of overeating. Breakfast. Breakfast should have foods from at least 2 different food groups. One group should be dairy, which includes the calcium. Example, having some cereal, fruit, and a glass of milk. Those are 3 groups. We talked about the My Plate, which involves the fruits, the vegetables, the protein, the greens, and the dairy. Can you come up with a low-cost, nutritious breakfast idea? Oatmeal is a great source, and just add in some fruits in there. What about an omelet? Putting all those veggies in there. So lunch and dinner. Lunch and dinner should have foods from at least 3 different food groups. Remember we talked about the rainbow. We would like for your plate to look like the rainbow. Different colors because that's when you know there's a lot of nutrients in your meal. Do you remember how big your My Plate should be? 9 inches. That's right. My Plate is an excellent resource when it comes to eating healthy. Eating a well-balanced meal is important to weight loss success, but controlling portion sizes is just as important. Remember on week 2 we talked about portion control using the My Plate method? The amount you eat and drink plays an important role in your energy balance. The plate method is a way to control portions without having to measure every ingredient. Reading nutrition labels. Think of a typical restaurant order. Often the waiter brings you an extra large plate with food filled to the bottom to the top. And then your bread's on a different plate, right? Take a moment to put 2 hands together. Do you remember how big our stomach is? Take a moment to put your 2 hands together in a fist, and that's how big your stomach is. Why does it take so much food to fill us up? Simple, it doesn't. So a great thing about cooking is you get to know what you're intaking, what you're consuming. You get to shop for your foods, and then you get to compare your labels when you're shopping, and you get to choose the most healthiest. This is the original label, and here's the new label now. In the new label, you can see more how many calories per serving. For example, in this presentation, the serving size is 2/3 of a cup. When we serve ourselves, we don't serve ourselves the entire container, right? Because it's only 2/3 of a cup of serving size, which reflects the 230 calories. And last week, we learned about the 5% and 20%. 5% is too low, 20 is just too high. So right here, your total fat, it's medium, it's 10%. Your saturated fat, 5%, that's a good fat. Your sodium, 7%, it's in the low side. Your carbs, 13%, it's in between. Your fiber, you definitely want to intake a lot of fiber, but drink a lot of water, so that's good. And your sugars, yikes, 20% is just too high. And then you have your protein, which fills you up, and your sodium. And here's what we discussed last time. We're just reviewing it. You want to start in number 1, which is the serving size. Serving size, sometimes a person can eat multiple servings without even realizing it. So read that label and see how much you should be eating on that. Then after that, you want to go to your calories, right? 40 calories is considered too low. 100 calories is in the medium side, and 400 calories is too high for your snacking. Typically you want to have your lunch and dinner a 400 calorie diet. Your daily values help you determine if serving of food is high or low in the nutrients. In your daily value, we talked about the 5% is too low and the 20 is too high, which we just talked about previously. Serving size, calories, and 4 key nutrients. Your serving size is one of the most important things to look for in your nutrition label. It's located at the top of the label and tells you not only what the serving size is, but also how many servings are in a container. And then your percent daily value, it's also called the DV. You'll probably notice it in your food label. These are percentage of your daily values found in a specific serving of a food and is based on a daily value recommendation for key nutrients in a 2,000 calorie diet. DV helps you determine if a serving food is high or low in the nutrients. You want to make sure you keep your fat, your cholesterol, and sodium low. Sometimes food we claim to be healthy, but they may actually contain more problems in the ingredients. The only way to see if one product is better than the other is to compare food labels. Eating too much fat can replace healthier foods in the diet and lead to overweight and chronic diseases, so it's important to be aware of how much fat is in the food we eat. Remember, 20 is too high, 5% is too low. The dietary guidelines recommends less than 10% of calories from saturated fat, keeping trans fat as low as possible. Reducing daily fat intake should be less than 2,300 mgs. That's only 1 tablespoon of salt. So utilize your spices. So the activity that I want you to do at your house is try to get 2 canned food items, preferably the same food item. If not, don't worry, maybe two canned items that you can, maybe 2 soups. and then you tell me which one has the least sodium, and then you kind of have an idea of where to go from there. Don't forget, if you want some healthy recipes, go to dinnertonight.timeu.edu/recipes. So this week, let's plan for the week. Let's try to make healthy choices throughout our week, because if we don't plan, we're going to be failing. So let's make some healthy choices. Use those crock pots. Be smart about your meals. Don't make it too complicated. Just make sure you have some nutrients in your plates. Now walk across Texas. Make sure you're logging in those miles. We're going to find out who is walking the most this week. Alright, strength. Let's talk about some common strength exercises. You have your dumbbells, right? What else? Our own body weight. That's correct. Why is strength exercises important? Well, it maintains muscle tissue. It also increases strength. It improves bone health. In fact, it reduces the risk of osteoporosis. It also controls body fat. I know previously you all have mentioned what weighs more, fat or muscle. It's muscle. Also, it decreases the risk of injury. So let's do a strength workout activity. Okay, during my presentation, we talked about strength. And you can use some dumbbells, you can use some weights, or you can use your own body weight, which we're probably going to be using. But I wanted to give you some ideas in case you want to have your own dumbbells. But before we start, I want to give you an idea of how to create weights at your home. You can do a 1-gallon plastic bottle, and this is an 8-pound weight. And something that you can do with this is your squats. Here is a 16-ounce water bottle, and its weight was 1 pound. You can do some of these arm exercises. There are other weights such as a medicine ball. Now here's another example on how you can use some resistance, and it can be this. Now here are some bands that you can use. Some bands have light, medium, and heavy, so you can see which one is at your preference. But you can put them on your legs, your feet, and stretch, or even this. Either way, you find what you enjoy doing. So let's do some strength workouts. Let's focus on our arms. We can do some wall push-ups. You can just go as easily as this. You can bring it in, or you can use the wall and make sure that you have a good arm's length. We can do that 10 times. And we'll repeat this workout 3 times. Alright, so let's do 10 wall push-ups. The next thing you can do is work on your legs. So you can do some types of jumps. So you can squat low and jump. Do 8 of those. Be careful, and if you can't do this, you can improvise. You just squat, tiptoe, squat, tiptoe. Alright? Now let's do another one. Another workout is some crunches or sit-ups. I'll do crunches. Let's do 15 of these. So repeat the exercise 3 times. Thank you for watching. Please attend our upcoming session next Monday. We will talk about moves to lose. See you next time. Bye.